yade a hadwen eyi papa be se na wotwe ntam yi no de yade a hadwen yi papa no me imagine se me bon kompo no mahwe be bia metima fifa na no kremu pa no se wo hyase edi free be bi enura ne nurachi be bi etise bayard ekopim malam junction omo bridge bi o nebu wo ko hwe under bridge ewo aje kojo enu the same thing. Okowe North Industrial Area, eya Aveno Hasi, Mekon Plus one so ehona obi ewu ye no. Abresan no bu ye no. Oko Tema Community 19. Oko Kanishe Malam Road. Oko a Church Village and also Community 6. Even East Legon Hills in the history of Ghana. What a yiri ye no rebi no come say obi bitima be bo na diania.
Tema.
Wo hwe baby say SEC Weja of Anko Barrier Opomlu Ekopim Shiashi Trade Fair Ekopim La Pab Accra Airport area in Sida Doblo Gono and Lashibi Road Kanishi Market Nima Sakaman Lagoon Blue Lagoon any Ushatema Miemia Hodua is see ye Uhe Dansoman Snake Flat Kanishi First Light Pong Barrier, any Abofu, any Temaport Road, almost every part. And now Kumase and Sudeptiti here, notably airport area, a runabout. So oko here a year or the same central region, a Kunfi area hold baby near Busa say at day, a yadia a hagging. But Obapenny, Semitis will be cancelled. Mon fine yaman your semua. Metia enya hasdi edim na bae kamini bible mu pa betuma to him egi white betuma kotu nebom MPP yaman yesemo a nyamisro ene o man no ho doka ho but NDC is so reckless to the extent say when they are doing politics as we mo yet to say omo baba mu da me wo yira mama since 2019 enso yiri bia no a ensema oka but we dey me we ne bae mamen kan wi ye wi ameba sem so our profess solution but atie fontie ni ye nya atwom ye no eya doso ewo ye mayi mu tauti ase no abo man no mu da e wo se ko ye careful we 27th May 2024 the recent heavy downpours in Accra and other parts of the country have led to extensive destruction of property and according to reports the loss of life of a young schoolboy. This has exposed the government's failure to manage and prevent floods effectively and evokes deep concern about its lack of comprehensive flood prevention and management plan. Many areas that are in the past were unaffected by flooding today become inundated with the least rainfall. Considering the huge sums of money, Tio, as a former president, considering the huge sums of money allegedly spent by this government on draining the Odo and other flooding preventions, the present situation is distressing. According to the government, 200 million was spent on the Greater Accra Resilient Integrated Program, while the impact of that huge amount and its intervention have not yet been felt. Parliament was recently recalled to approve another 150 million. Protecting the lives and properties of our people should be a top priority of the government. Given the opportunity to lead our beloved country, a new NDC government under my leadership will not rest until we find an engineering solution to the persistent flood and implemented it. Okika mebrebe, you have sitting former president, correct me, say allegedly, or mampenia kodiska, uye tapes a hudwa or kaini adia, metiwane hami. Now, so now mampeni president, mama dear, so we in 1960, so we in 1968, and we can communicate. Ese June 4th 2015 me kra ye nyame adom na me hyena na adu fie hono mo ani ne ye meet na me pie ye enye bodyguard ba ko Ibrahim and the boy ya ka me kra nka ne nka ho entina nka wo ba no you should have been guarded by tact and sage but he threw caution to the wind and kikani semwa tantrums kikani semwa na say no onim se boko ba jabe hia to no a ne bia to dawo entinka ba ye no I remember I said one of his speeches when he was the vice president, he said, former presidents must guide. Intina kaba and kabeche so mampeni nyi di sei. an astrological of him. And now can ya just say or my penny of Kufu MPP. Who we now can say in my government almost 3 years now. Check. Or by my yes, individual activities come home. But ye must say key people almost the same no Zoom lion on me me fear say maybe they are not paid. Nankasi ase comfort chire musu aye na kuko ne yie obi anka wo nim dia wo kan ye die nanka wo buy back on die o be say di pe wu ye they were more than 200. It should have been guided o kasasa the prof for share come sa and the wapa say dia bosom ye di kan no kra dia anka be ye bi oba hima we dia komfie mienu we no kra mpa be bia I have also say we dey me fan to nchen na nyi obi no mean a person et say na ya jantoa ya kufo ne fa ma ba PURC mama maintain wo you are a beneficiary of that no akọ sister station say identity MPP for the DNDC for akwaduru so does it make sense
Adomako aduru so said yen
ye do makọ aduru so say ntine ye mo ba bia no asa ne man toto wo mo enti wa akọfa sem na ba say wo kasa na nyansa ni mu a because ke bia ye mu bia nko ho ba wa say as ye do makwaduru so ene ye ko ho an ye nyansa ni nimdie no man wo do a ye ba ye adwuma hwe sakidie menye architect menye civil engineer but common sense should have guided them say a whole landscape no whole no na so mutu amena esa channels ekoka odona no ho enso peti odon ayi kura circle kura na yeyi in a haste see benye schedule munti ne ekopa si honom no anya adwini bia to say ye ye de akọ then you get nana ya jam to a presidential advice staffer SNPP for the do makwaduru so wouldn't say omo ma politics yem krasesem with all respect eyem krasesem asem na akosie no ene 11 years abaye no ojadu ani mu hia de ena no ye call adenta na so abrosan buagu nipa so enipa se tu ne wu ya asesen eno mi yi nkrai won kwa time o na nkana na ye janto obade ye mema ne tomre bia ye brane aye nti obade o kasa with distinction with respect and then oba ne de mema so study psychology you na way of communicating any man ya dey different a man to some extent you more of emotionally intelligent than yen you reckless akotna ho you tua o kaje 550,000 a month ko jina MPP for do oh yes na the only one you know omu didi mo na then we mo organize school mu nyina mo yes staffers ni ade no you wan you craje 40,000 hwe omo ba se be wia ye be kumuni asai no
ade a wonye sure dey so just
allow and yes me sure o de opa se me sure dia MPP buy after a year now presidential staffer e be our parliament a year they say near their better parliament adenti no mu dwane okay you promise clean government
so meaning
and the list a wo dey ba no e more mamma DCs ni MCs there MPP time no me 4,500 5,000 and now me no ka say e between 30,000 to 35,000 and yes, I mean, yes, and that oh, Debbie, Obama, most station no as soon. That last week I may buy a make us say, I buy any man and in coho, fuel home, the year petrol, any diesel. Now, me no buy, a year and yes, a crew from no yet in Azuma. Me, yeah, this is for be send a test from Empire. So
I don't know MPP in this for
that be MPP, the other say, Mammy from other country, okay, but me can't yes, so say. I am man on ye. So you switch na beto aya na di nyansa to ho. Omo kasai. Enso niema ekoswe. Yes, abande wom. Ontu omo sisa nwira no ka. Construction so omo ya omo hwe ne ye. MPP e ba ya me ni nyina de. Mense bo modern. Enu nti na me sa yesuntie no. Eniema ewu sei no ensisi. Also but just one person say na kura bi yesu ewu. Wo wo de o ba ye ojadu ani mu hia de enso na beto boy awia na bebo a plane atofom enti se de na ya gya nto aka ye no
enye natural disaster
natural
adenti na ye
me sabamuda rolling sabamuda kofu abamuda ekufu adu abamuda ade ade ensa gu so na de mama no ankasa gina platform so bie na no kan say samunnim na motoma NDC biewu a ohawa betom no na no masem it was your mama his excellency our campaign platform okay
maintain that
okay na it was a prophetic declaration. Before then, Wamo yewura onsu bempa osofo onsu bempa say John Mahama nsaka moja say munim nam de ne ba biew anye beto o mai eni ntini based on one formula mo dia beto o say na na ye janto ase ye de no I am going by tangent say ye no ntira na de onsu bempa kan ye no de Mahama no anyame ewura ni mo wa unu kan say ye ba biew dia mo awu no eni ne ma ekoso yi ye wie ni san kakra bi de kan ho no say for obi babo ama sebi wane ho no enti so ane ho mo ada roma mo me anya ni free etom ne bia me yetimi ye de ohene ne de oya dodo na asase otwa ma me no ene amasa ma ekopim sa wo nyina se ye kwan yi a adane nkran ana me bo ana enti chinchina se ye kwa kotra techem chinchina se ebinom ahemfo ka ho abampanimfo ka ho assemblyman fo bi ka ho eni nipa ho bi ka ho kakra ye padi enti ba wan kasa no so a wo kwa koye no ogina ho sei asase bu okra dan na wusie no the tester of the soil must be tested.
Okay.
Asase bu ma the tester of the soil must be tested. Ghana ha no ye will be e Holland ni nyina si so wo hwe zelezu ebi si so but nyansa ni nimdi a oba him omde ka ho nti no omti so na dia ni anke wasase pete kakra so no enso ni timi nkoye ye hwe bola edra mi hwe na eye alajo hai pani ba ko George bonano en wo hwe nwira digum na se we na manyofo yi ya wufrim ye de nkabo mu ye na nya Mahama kasa amwa enkasa be ebi akobeka bi
kasa na prevent o se wo so obi hwie ewura gugatemu na uje ni panama na ko because of my akasa da
me wo de mi ade asem na da ha me chi police ni bia na me hwe ni suban ya wo ye kwam no waboro me chi no kay no ko e na mi ni e video e na me hwe ye e will be commenting ti dia me di wie no dia me kan dia siso ni se asem na bedro no best MPP fo nyina ya ku ya nim no nyame abie kwan Dr. Mahmoud ba onya beba mama ye nkasa se de NDC fo kasa ya ene wo mu anu asem na Ghana fo gina ebu a omfo ma me fancy ya
dog me da say asem a ye kan ho asem no ye o kasa ye kan ho asem na ye dan a ebu ewo North Industrial Area and I will restrain myself within that context. Na yet omai mu a aya se kasi obi ayi a ade ba ko a ye de hwese wa ye ene edan a wasi nti obia e bankran kokumase kokoforidu ko capital na so obo bra kakra na opeso kofie ko ba amane se makobo bra opeso osidan nti amadan sie no abekan ya brabo ho nti aye lifestyle Baibia baby na ntesa nti obia esidan mamefo etufo sidan papa etufo abusu etufo ye de dan twampoa nti amadan sie no abeye part of our na yesi ni sen enka ne papa mu a enka wo sidan a wo beto asase a wo hwe bia a wo to asase no na wo sidan no wa hwe se bia na ame ko hwe no eye kama ene obia free na kura no abankan asase nso de ye papa wo mu no na se wo asase pese so yi no ayema enti ye de no ko mashi area be bia nsuo wo bia na so wa hoode obetimi dia fele a na wato na wa fele na wa sidan bebi odi nti betu nti si e beka se ono so wa ye nti no na ye wura fi se eye amane na ye pa ama ye ho na ye sa pe ama enchirimba enti ene bebi bebre anke ye ensuo kwan no ene
tutua no
ye tutua ne esidan wo ye sidan so no eniemba bebre na ye enka usidan wo pass asene wi a ne papa mu a ye mra no Land Use and Spatial Planning Act 2016 Act 925 echere de wose wo fam ana de wose wo ye ansa no wesidan ne papa mu a wo form wo assembly no wo form no apply say me permit for me dan ana say wo chro letter e de assembly ho wo wi a wo de architectural designs any de opese wo ye nyina na wo de assembly ho wo de assembly ho a ne papa mu a ye frɛ Nkofobi, the technical committee. The technical committee, they comprise of NADMO, EPA, fire service, land, a friend is saying, commission, physical planning, works units. A bimosokra echo obtain ECG, utility service, ne eka. Na omo akoye inspection. no ma hwe say baby a wo si dan no ni nyina no ekoyia na yembisa ye ho say enne assembly for mo hwe me omo ka committee for no mo hwe me ombisa say ye ya na assembly mpono dodo say na wo kasa e de yes ade no enti ewo on paper no beautifully, but the implementation of these policies no eni ho enti no sa technical committee no in most assemblies no domo ye ne say fiscal planning and as a way for the permit ne ba ne aye meeting ne ya approve say ye si ha say ensi ha omonye de omo ye ne say ebi mo so ye ne selected projects are mo say oh we de ani wo ho projects are eso no na o makohwe. But in kind of papa mu a se wusi abronsa ya ebro so 3 a there's a special inspection that was a cost and as we see a dan kese a eno no o kwa e was ye kohwe even the soil test say EPA ma permit fire ma permit aviation permit e was wunya highway urban rules fu nyina e ko check but then abronsa dodo a ye hu okrum yi se ye kase ye komni a ye nhwehwemu a emu dodo say na fast processing and you see that.
In a way, you see a lesson out of a past experience because recently saying that Newtown Honum Abansoro Ejiguye. Adia ni nyina ye ni hwe so even the pillars e bi se dan na si won man penfo be hwe no say na nkense se wo mu simple e dey na prevent ye se ye bedwire gu but rather no e courses oye we come the fortune nyame ado na school for ni ho no nti enku obia
meba ho
ye bibi free mo
meba ho wonim de koye ne se me ma ye ne ma me pese me si dan me permit no minimum bi wo ho enti me bo a me permit na no na me de akoma no we am afra ne se minua me permit no enti ye ho adwuma ma me ono so ebe ye ho adwuma ma me because o ye minua obu won so a enka omo e wo so mo hwe akoye inspection aka che ne se oh edan we de wo ye ne menye no oni mo bi wa abamu enti obi afa phone afre obi emo so afre obi aka che se chale minipa no hwe na mo hwe na mo ma ne permit no na onsi ni da
eneta ma me MC ne kasai no o kan sembi o se obi o kompona o de ne plan ni bibia ba mo approve say this is your plan obi o fi honum ko ye na se bi abansoro no se bi one story 2 3 a wo hene bi akwakoye no 5 me one enye 5 no and no more approve. And then the question is, and they will approval. Say media bana na say on field the non so no. Say me yet frequently me
and do ho. Say me ma permit na. I was say unit no, especially works unit and fiscal planning for no. And you more and making sure say, dear uka se obey no. Even in Tokyo castle will be sizes no e pno no bibia no wo eno na wo ye e bia castle will beto wo no sa ne be but a monitoring no assembly needs to be resourced in order to monitor but resources no way sometimes na I mean so me blame assembly because no. Some ye fiscal planning director na me office no be aframe say obi si dan wo kwan mu a me I say that say me tumi ameka na me akọ na say company car kofo bebre so tumechi enti resources no se ka wo ha mombra pick up ni atram ni na yakwa de ekoso ni ehunu regular monitoring but sa resources no eni ho enya abanwe ana abanwe eni ho over the time enti most assemblies no obekona pick up ho ye two coordinating director and I say senior ibi na echi and I say MC ibi na echi pickups into my handicap they are not resourced enti no some monitoring and koso and na ya ben normalize the situation no obi okra wa apply ne da no answer obi apply for permit ne da no wasi awie
answer
obi apply permit no emba ye ba ne da no wasi awie tim and people are aware yes no enkofu tuka omuko no omuhunu sa enkofu yo mo ye part of the technical committee and omu wa ban mu and aso me adwuma wa assembly where so omuhunu
na me tie kwa say even womo se bia na build there onim se bia on the documents no enye completing no akwakoto paint ni bi no abetre ho stop work
it is stop work just chema what we say stop work a multi-layered factors yenya ye si dan ye ka ho medical agriculture ho institutional followers eka ho na structural integrity one kasa okotena dem e wo se ohunu se e dan no ebu ye sebe we de me nkai omo a omo why ebu e domo mu bu ne se omo tim no e na wo enya problem no nti efa se me kusi dan atenem na se manhwe niema yie na se me si dan no biara because senkofo be kasa me si dan nti no se bibi ba se me na me ho be kire me enti yesu na wo se ye hwe se ye be employ the right people be ne ye wa he me ka ho ye mu hwan na ye be si dan a ope qualified engineer no ne trust say minia dan we na pese me si de na wo se me ye de na wo se me ye ma me expert advice ye nya fa kire wa no be ka cho so mosin we ni we o ye kama ba o ne blocks no obetumi enti obetumi akeka ni afre no ye ne naka na wakọ won so afa ne nkofo bi wa akire ho no makotutu amana ne ya start na yesi ye wi a ya ye ne kama but the referee say yan kasa ne yedi ho abro enti ye ya na ye so ye ka ho because onu na o ye adwuma no e wo so hunu say onu ye de nasi wo so onye na adwuma but wa anya na adwuma ni ya the ultimate victim no e ye wo na wo kwotena dan ni enne Friday ni bayi wa mo na e form enyo mo ti dan enye na isisi na enye enwa na ekosi enti ni nyina no yenhwe na it needs a holistic intervention dey me be bia me sua dey fin ye fa the root causes of the problem e dey na dey sa dey we e bai e bi si adenta ye kan ye media for ye kan ye twa so and they biasi e kira headlines ye fufuro enti ye nka edan ho asem e be sa ba ha bi ma sa be ka
just few years back hey ya Malcolm and also sa ni jirigu ye trap nipa ye go find a technical team from Israel
in the
be ye
and na me hwe anapai na me hwe
say President Mahama time na me bia yes mo
and anapai na me hwe anapai na me hwe even site ho site ho no ebugu nkofo no so no ebugu nkofo no so no the how are ye nkofo no na me hwe even the resources to evacuate people to rescue people they need be and I was expecting say with the miankasa memadwe I was expecting say every vice president call one of the things that she should have taken notice of no say yen hwe the way I rescue for me na mini site but the me hu two excavators and I say ye chain ama obia ye bibi ansa na yenso ye bibi me not technical person so I may not be able to go into details but the be here what take here ye hunu ye hwe wo TV so na be here ansa na and ye no na me hunu wo you know enti eno so kan na ye ni eho akade a esi a ye be ye na ye nso ye ntoto ye na mo ye se de be ye anema be ko ye na ye bo ye bra ne sen enti the esi ye no a very unfortunate incident I obia mompa ye se ebi nto no but see Beka say yen permanency biem no yen nyina na ye waso die government has a role to play especially the municipal metropolitan and the district assemblies they have a role to play we the people who want to achieve some status and into your person see that no yen so you have a role to play because say kuntu ha na chia na eba wo de wa de say wo bechichi wo be ye niema bi a wo de wo benya diatrema ebu a one kasa so be
begu na enei so krompo na rent adane atwamene no obi ho no ma wo si no o si se enye ono na etene mo o si se wo de ma rent enti cement a esese wo to na odi shem no so a onyusu eyesa cement na cement no egumu ahodo bebre de esese wo yusu na the quantity as we use this dinosaur so na eno so yenye because obi eni wono ma o ba be check ya make sure say we use the right enema for building no ntino no akuku no huru no de so no e de cash out ni sika e go wie che omo betena mo no e na be huna ma nti we say asem be say the dog kan ye nyina ye waso de e say nyina nso it me play a role na child right international for so ensemo mo e de aba mo ka say wo mo foa eye minister nsemo a waka e so say nei no won hwe abofraje phone a wodi hia de na bibia pop up on sites say abofra no wodi face o nkola de out of curiosity no wa click it on si ye share eye porn site ni pa dodo o mo visit ho no mo a ene ye ntimi deny mo fra na se me mo nyusu eye abefo kwan so emfa nsua de now so se yetimi de restrictions yetimi bam to say mandatory eye verification a wo be use so ID card on eye website ahodo no wo mo say ya de a omo efo asopo betimi aboa ma yetimi akra ye mo fa na asa na say yetimi ya guide wo mo na neniema ahodo ate se e wa abefo intentan so no ye mo fa na ankwa consume anko fa asem amfa ambanto mo so mo de ID card checks for porn site no wo mo e back of file I mean
no me that say obahima emofra efunu mu aba enhira ene nyame ede ma awarefo o ma bia nkoso ene de dachi mabunu ene emofra ena kwan a oman no awofo asafo ahodo ene ankrankra ni betimi aka bomu a yebetimi ede aboa enti bibia ebetimi agege enkwada no na agege wa mu asabaa mu no awose nyina yitimi sori na yeka ho asem enu enti bibia no a se ya ban ana ankrankra bi mpo etrim yebeye a yede bebo nkwa na adwene no eboa wo mo enyinia formative stage no eya na curiosity no ho enti so antwe yese pe na bibi kotori trimu a eyade a eye asem yedi kan pa ni se entitiye eni nyamisuro bia no be hyase ba bia free efie family is the foundation ye na yetro dey person kwada ya nopa oni o ma ye quiet time mabompa ye obusa omo bible verse ben we readie e wo musa Samson duru ba bi no okwae o mane fa akwan ne ho banyame a onim ne nti no Samson owu nyame na ase enti ye wo de awofo dodo se ne yes ane ma no de to so biu asafo ahodo no groups ben wo mo ye me ma sorry ye wo PF ye wo AY any asa me I went through the mail na be a master guide I was 7-day Adventist enti eniema 4 components eye spiritual eye moral eye academic any social na yesua no eye me time se me hesa na ema no say na safo no I think say Presby Methodist Pentecost they are also doing well oban murisrami mu a ka se mra na me ye nas president o so so mo gimsa eye a wo so ewom ti se mabunu no ye do mu wura mu a ebeboa yen de to so biem civil society ahodo no eniama ben wo so wo ye and I will commend wo mo support patcho edin crampo design
child rights
they are doing well because opinion is so good me try mo ma bi say good manners for better life Dr. Mrs. Joyce I and I endorse ye and papa no ya no se na ni je ho men send ma wo mo de ono wo hwa mo ma to bi no se me ma ba ko 5 cedis na me say wani mere 5 cedis me boa na the faculty kurikuri na we he's doing well so penina nkasa no he's doing well nti o sa ban no so kura na ni ekọ honom ba ne kase no the bus trust with the government me kaya ma metu buzi ade but I've read copious about him what the civil education so the buy eya na ebua ye pa yen nyini ba no yen patriotic songs ma mai musem ye wanyasem no aba yen ara ya sasini arise Ghana youth esanye mani nyina oba hima na ebua yen na himsa hodo nso say yes the Methodist Anglican Presby ubesua ni nyina na bua yen English and na himfa na eko and nanu akoye instant syndrome and instant gratification and na niema eko so and na aban no ye no kran so awofo no so no how do we monitor our children wakoto se oba no ebi a oda ibi ho wapie na akọ suddenly no wapie no akọ hwede na ohwe mame hwe wodi hu bi ase ne mu do awofo mebre no an watofo no dia mane ba no he careless on fache ho e na prade akoto we ya we Sam George di America ba ya wo se yemfa wo di say card ni nkoni ade ekura na dodo na tra be careful what more other avenues while download do ade no kura dada so we need holistic education Ayeka we say nyina na ade no enanu ye free SHS or book 2 under John Dramani Mahama say eye Reverend Tim for Joman sorry no mo di akose book 2 mo nkra no sua enti sa okoka say o restrict o mo a book no kuta
na the minister no be can say any certified book o
mo enti no mo ni ho na o de say nakafo ana say ye de ne ko bae Haruna Duchi is somebody I revere. We're Kremoni Mapa. We're disciplined. I like him so much. But I then it me the call. Say until for your minority for now, sorry, can cry you do a move. Fire no twin chain. Or by my way, I can maybe we say, you know. A casa. Who and there, Usha Mabi, Usha Memebi, near quarter social media. And somewhere Amodi near Ka. Ya dim crana who cry chess up, no, na ye can was able. Onim be yagin Sam George na nkasa today you are a minister Nyamintu Akufo-Addo ka we say and the video is going and someone brand here na kan na mhwe ni din and na de wo no obi a okopo ewu adura ba so mpafen ye fa we say no mra
so they porn asem no work
and na me say obai ma and someone Ayeka no emu odu che de wo kika no mami nkai one of my quotations na me fancy was say woe to the nation that crowns arrogance as confidence and anoints impudence as bold leadership. When the people begin to glorify reckless speech as truth and reject wise counsel in favor of loud populism, they turn down the pillars of trust and silence, the guidance of conscience. When foolishness is mistaken for wisdom and indiscipline paraded as courage, when mediocrity is praised and incompetence rewarded, such a nation has already dimmed its own lamp. When native heritage is traded for foreign mimicry and the fear of God is cast aside as outdated tradition, then surely that nation has lost its compass. Sakrata with me try na Akufo-Addo time crowd and na timeless. Enya limited to MPP ni NDC. But as we be a ma practice politics ache no really ma ekoso no. NDC for no kra nya bi no mo kan ya. Nyame admo mo position no. They will be guided by finesse, sage and wisdom.
Okay.
So and you know why you know bebrebe in any case eya de na mom no promise and say data beba form and them intimi to be friend kra intimi frɛ no o promise ne ma bebre oba ye theatrics be okoye ye any san krofo o dey say South Africa na yi so obebo modram o ma yi abafo ko wi ase no di twa yi ono ankasa na wo o say
ese mo teacher
DSTV yeah dey say obi se be yeah obi a ye minister timi kopie eyi na ni oba abron siasa ko a enkwada ehwe eni ntino o kan 1 Corinthians 9:27 na wo se mi hye mi nipadua homete na mi di ninya na mi ankasa me kasa kire binum yi no man kasa manye ne onfre me ka me dey say me ka we dey say enya Sam George Kroye na allegedly we say what parliament no wo hwe pono ni bi so you encouraging them
allegedly tenye no Corinthians
na dey say beto abeto no so me ya
ameto
enti ya mo hwe o me ma yi
doc ma membra o
me da say ya po ameka as much remini
here pa
am say wa mess profession
no I'm not missed it only when be Michuano doc Michuano you communication people but mind you say aside that no politics all your development maybe your political communication they make a be careful said that intina since 2006 2006 obi afa people has had makwa can say
okay
dem media ya na won sima wa o maka no ma tiaba na mama mfo ko mu
Matthias ye nua be Sam George say or ye policy a was so the ID card a chere and sana what me access upon site
so the big show it comes with way
media and a child right international I endorse it and also my back that intervention from baby amigina no a good step in the right direction say what who say BBC no how mine no na emum no e wo se ye hwe na ye si ano kwan na me ka ne say wia na maka say adentina we hu here because we acknowledge say you drew brebia we have to look at these things but me trimu no solution no me say was scratching the surface keke
okay
because the enormity of the problem no is so change the work and the first no ye wo ye nkwala na se ye tete omo a usu a ada ye beto lalaba ama no ye be fa na sha ekire ana ye ni be di agro bi enne akola ni di 1 years 2 years a na akoto bibi e friend iPad na di ama no
Oh, this
na usia de no share cartoons no intinkrano are exposed to screens and technology right from that stage. And kwani bebre a omadi nkra bebre kwanti ye kasa no. Into right there, your friend be cultural institutions, a family, a educational institutions, a religious institutions, traditional authorities, media, and no, it is failing. Family nan kasan right from there, and honey I start free. Oko school so I didn't hunu, and you see be before from. Oko area nan kasa what no so asesa, and you know, and yet communal settings biem individual set even what konkofo fie na nkura na obi a wone dan obi a hye ne dan o jana phone so enti technology na nkura no kura nim chen yen enti way intervention way enkaye nanso no enye holistic from my perspective hwe me your research be with the use of Snapchat on first no and na consumption people we are looking at consumers of information and the age na woman no media person be able say we are in the prosumers we produce and consume so the children are not or the young people are not just consuming the content too they are also producers of the content cause Snapchat the level of nudity was Snapchat no it is amazing. May research be now the way young people are selling nudity for money, almost stories, or more be a friend Snapchat plus.
The plus,
the plus, or you have to subscribe to be able to get there.
And I think so there's another. Is it Telegram?
Telegram,
recently a brand.
Salix here by you food ambiance and here by in a here share no. Mimi Shebi, I kind of crash as a media person. I went to look at what is happening. Telegram, send me a media.
Me too.
And I mean, yes, sent, mean cousin, you sent. Telegram, any WhatsApp groups, Snapchat groups, all these things are there. It me bisa me minister and say, how do you prevent these sources of information also? Because you are talking about websites. Snapchat no so no obi eko ayi obeje na ayi ana na say me wo hana me hu me nua di machi mienu beauty or holy child. Me who saw Snapchat na wo twa picture na ochiacha no honam me honam yem share me hey me sister you do her because me say and this is someone who is below the age of 16 or was Snapchat ho me community ho no Snapchat community ho no enema e koso ho e ho na me sister na be pi enti say yes anema we ya e dey na dey to in place into all the ba ho no and also you be here ID card ana and how people get there no it is technology. And then a bimbet me use the friend VPN and put a bypass it. Say only Ghana or another country. Now we share these contents. Enti eye say ye nua bema no wo hunu se bibisa cause nti o say say but me dream say the intervention it goes beyond that our cultural institutions has failed and no na mama nim nua ye adwen say e wo say san hwe ho bi family systems no edie ne edie ne ka kire nkola no edie ntete ne ede mo first no me ne wo ye nyini no stay obi twema maamefo no unim se maame we unim ne fie enti wo gene ne ma na o ankyere okra o no odi nkomo okwam na o dia kon fie because ye nyina ye one enti family system na breaki and no obi ntia obi ba enti se me koto so obi ba ebo abrabo bi kura enya medimani keke ne behwe no enne asori ne de na Ayeka the Asori thrives now on marketing and publicity. The sofo no beka entire bi abehye services bi and youth say entinyema na nka Asori ni role as a cultural institution that instill values ewo yemu no enne Asori na lose educational institutions and universities bi o ma start prescribe entire a nka nkora ne e dey na me eduru ho because nkora no consumptions no mo consume no e different hwe Netflix and the movies now on the Netflix. Me person me bubu bibi wa.
It's porn no.
It's sad no. Into Netflix
site no.
It's porn site. Into hono Netflix also no. So the ID card be subscribe ya na. Because me na me wo me sika na ma subscribe.
But do him say with Netflix and so no. Parents no it's me a guide in a way. There are other movies are womutimi edi code etoso and as a password. And it's a way above womutimi access it. Any a one friend dear or honomat or more age limits and also womutimi accept as I say. But it boils back to the question say parents no a yes I dear no.
Now who quite a bit to subscribe network now Netflix now. And then Nketwe, so person or subscribe to Netflix, he has the knowledge to subscribe to Netflix. Everyone on the phone, so TV, family there, I will be a deal why I want TV, no so but on one Netflix, I will share because movies now emotional. Maybe a call no, we share one television. The man emotional and then no passion. Or share the on the phone, so the phone so no movies or select here. Maybe or no on Netflix. And I teach university students. Some come to level 100 below the age of 18, and I know what they consume. So we have moved from the era of just consumption to an era of they both produce the content and consume it as well. Most of these children, they put their nudes outside there. They are the one producing the nudes outside, so they are not just consuming. They produce it and share it themselves. Now, obi wo the boyfriend na or say oh you who try me, chichania maybe try me. No, o chicha no o try. Recently, me school.
One don't your friend of digital infidelity.
Me school. One student approached me. I me who say or you very I say the class on kasa but or you be. So I approached her as an academic counselor of level 300. And I need in common and I say, "Mommy, I say Nancy okay." And apparently, the boyfriend, as in the ex-boyfriend, attracting say or be pushing the nude outside. And I was like, "Wow, this is interesting." And I'm saying, "Oh, when they started, even before Obeba University, hey." No, omni started chimpano, and now omubisa sani emano. To the extent said they were even intimate and recorded it at a point. On any that a recording, boy or catch and say on delete into it on himself with delete. But now no boy na air threaten say or what videos into obey and on also say or the police station and my mama better.
This is suicidal.
Until now no the young girl is battling this. What they said you see there into when you be an ankasa, so I have to follow up, go and talk to people. And this I've not even shared it with any of my colleagues because once they will ask questions, who is that? And I don't want to give the person away. Until I have to deal with this situation themselves. So the children are not just consuming, they are producing. So we have moved from the era of consumption to the era of prosumers. Producers and consumers of the content. And to say bra some George say ye the BBC basa de be consumption no ye be hwe na restrict na eye na emom no me pese what yes say me share documents na makan the issue should be looked at holistically. Civil education can role of church yen media we have a role to play. The family has a role to play and then they have me pa they have and kra no chi no omo nimka aibe omo nimka gano omo nimka obi sa kra say what to say or say I am fine
mbedi mdd adom me mene
Maame no sabe e bi kwa the school kon anko ebru nanim bebri enso wo fie na no o kone akala ne kabofo
ne bofo no so papa so they abofra no.
In relation to that yesusa no maame dokonomo upon
by the
fireside no na eboa stories no a building a level of tenacity and resilience and anoya pa so tie dodo no ano a just one more year now, yes, star. And a rap politics. And a binum dear channel, ya be ministers. Into one share holistic. Now, you say, how did they integrate the professionals, the development communication, the strategists, and then the political communication, especially more linguistic background? Oh, jam is a main core professional go. But one thing is, we make you a mutual and triage myself a controversial.
Your material. I
think say now one of the major institutions are mainstream to me even what the can see a chain family ne church ne any media mesre yen ye wa asudie enka ne papa mu a we've classified content your content be at time I wasn't but you know
na ne ma fa no nantemu bi do wo ka se time yi no se 9 na enebu hon ma o da ko 10:30 11 to 12
do media no cry there ye mu be practice for some time the choice of words time or the program no any the content
no na work
we are catering so
and yenhwening na holistically
but mo fa no so me say ni dodo no so gina parents na say be make sure say at the right time no e mo fa ne beda me fa no say media say be a content bi ho na say yi 9 pm abofa bi 9 pm no da so at TV ho na wo photo wo no mo hwe and then TV no so mobile phone so wo ko online na make us see stream live ho no na wo hwe dear we put in place e be ma kwala na hu say at this time and so share the phone so na say and say phone the compo one nchen.
See we live in a very I don't want to use the word field because they be am person but I say kamia say sana ya
okay
we have filled our environment
Ayeka baako na yeni nkomo say dog wa rap e wo ho no nyina e wo responsibilities
yes
enti ye share finance ministry ene agric e ho no so dia abeda ho no deputy finance minister e kokasa ye wo de etu dwa say sabi wo ma release 1.677 billion di ama agric hodom na agric so abeyi ano na wochire mu no na okasa on the 15th of February 2026 na finance ministry authorization na authorization no subsequently or 2020 which is on the 15th no na first and second quarter budgets no allotment letter or they buy on the 19th February 2026 a cape womo inti sika na de sika ya allocate e de amomo e wo budget a wo mo approve no e wo parliament no e de wo ho no nanso e ba na de enye sa sika no inti se de wo mu si ebubu mu se de finance echirichiri mu se amount say e kwa ha say we say e kwa ha we say e kwa ha food agric ministry ho e de aba se enye sa e na etie na ukabomu in percentage go bisiko omunya no e wo sa first quarter no e about 12.4% pe enti endru sa 85% na a omo kana sa farm center omo ka so omo wo so mampanyina komo de aso abofom nse ye kase wo mo nhase sa se ka ye release akono enkoye 600 tractors here Belarus if we hono mo bana 80% down payment no so hwe enkoye it is the second time AFA minister agric minister ko piemu e wo hono mo ne mpemfo yi e kwa akokasa nti sa asem na omo ka no e ntro no kribia sanso enim ofa
yo mani kanchia me wo fase ba ko no say me mate enough again ene ne birthday onyame insha no ya kra obre ne ho ase papa ami insha no obahima empanifo se nya da beto bu atwa fra na mpafin bi si wo nya da beto bu atwa fra na mpafin bi si wo ye to mai mu ukodwoma ye nto ya te kokoo sika so o mo teacher fo ye wi ayemfo ma ayemfo madwuma contractors yintu o moka enyura na amene yin so miri yin atofo sin boss inflation ko 3.8 ye koka ye sin fa nye politics na ntia de mo kan nyina no se ne erikopoko mmienu nyina ye cabinet ministers babontin se de woka wodi ntro dia Ghana fo wasempa kasifo wasempa me wokata da manim for immediate release stop the infantile propaganda before it explodes. The word you can't be to say be a infant as a childish. Yes, I said him, I am quite a minister to a minister. Now the money you who cry and say, Minister sign Samuel Hunto, Media Liaison Officer, Office of the Minister for Food and Agriculture.
For ministry no
for the ministry no components ni
liaison for
components ni nyina wa ha na brenti mi nya daje mi nkom into ade aba abeyi ne to se enye dokre na de bia ya ye ka ya no mo je hu achi nye ni ade ni nyina no eyem se me twere piece bi wa ha mi wi a me de be ma doctors no so ahwe bi ba ya wa Adomako Baafi let me quickly read it na fi yemfa
of your brain ni ono
me say the great deception macro boom versus micro doom. A government that celebrates macroeconomic stability while citizens drown in microeconomic hardship is not governing. It is gaslighting a nation. This is the stark contradiction of John Dramani Mahama's NDC today. Big numbers up, real lives down. They promised relief on page 3 of their 2024 manifesto. Yet today, unemployment is rising. Doomsday is creeping back. Contractors unpaid. Farmers suffering, including cocoa, cashew, maize, yam, millet, groundnut farmers. No money for sanitation, no recruitment for teachers and nurses, and many more. Baby, I could run into the near can no more watching, you know. The more I DC forecast any buy an economy na Ayeka no. So was a Kwame Nyamie Shirano, Father Dixon Nyamie Shirano, Oforisa po Nyamie Shirano. Na sika da ho na ne ba ho da so a. Ne ba no begin so Republic. Enti Ghana for so long as say NDC ebe drama home say economy no Ayeka na ho kire wo mu no. And na a state capture na. Eno na akoda adie. But the am say Yera mama kikan say mebrebe any the code of conduct ni ade. What you say? Na sempanimfo no kura mpantimi amfolo a. That is a failure on the part of the government. Na nya mwanwa what no only the code of conduct also the abani ministers no. Ye nya ministers e bidu mu ye ma etimi disremfo atem. Ye pan ye du kwesrema ya punish o. Ye nya ministers a ye di asofo atem. Ye nya ministers a opulence. Any arrogance at its best. And nano obi a wo no oye minister no. Ukokotu obi a ono ye practitioner tobo. Ye to mayimu akando kosrem. Okoye atamale CEO no akoyina di. Doctors no mahidi. No akos you are saying kolebu asemu aba na ye di America bedu akosa the report aba ye ntima ye yi omodi. Na komfa noche hwenim guasesem. This is the state and these are the people obudi and so. Oba ma de make can so ni say. Sabe ye di jo ani e di aso a. E wo bu sanko bi kasa ye mpanifo se ye nkasa putu enhye na hye be wedwo. Na mom mfie mienu ne kakra akai. Ansa na ye raba omia ne MPP be ba no de. Ye be kire o madwene say asomrefre du anakramanya dabre. Wo munye de boko na de me ya kase ni say erikopoku ye obi a waboa NDC pa woni Colinzelda. Look at esunafo no ho afo west afo wo makacha bebia. Na se nano na nse ye ntem enkoko no nketenkete no eho issue by say okay ya. America poku babontin say na se wo mu chebi wo presidency. Na me nimu yi. Okay. Ene yesa ko eni say ya. Na enye ma party no ho nyako no. Se se edu nkeche mi twa kwa ko bebia wie. Na se nano yetimi expose ni say ya. Na de omo kacha hafo ne bono ne say momo de yadane mo biri pantampram ya pamusra de na mo nam de yempe eni nti o mo hwe no mo nka but the bottom line is say statistics o mo de abaku statistics nyina no enne erikopoku am ya wuru say se ni sika ni sanka ide a ehifa no mo nsaka e ya sem sebe mame fancy ya.
Okay dog
me da se minua abena as a nation no ade baby baako a osi ma ye ni kopeye agricultural sector.
True.
The agric sector no contribute to 19 to 21% of our GDP. In fact, it employs 33 to 40% of Ghanaians. It is a we ni pamian said at least one person or any livelihood is free the agricultural sector. Into any sector and what say every nation at the year politics at the diagro cry. In fact, in the budget, Ayeka say Obama the Ministry of Agriculture 1.9 billion Ghana cedis.
1.8 or 1.9.
1.97 billion Ghana cedis. According to that budget now. According to Usha's statement, Ministry of Agriculture almost say on the 15th of February, government release commitment friend is saying authorization. 4 days later, that's 19th of February. Release another letter saying that they can
to cap it
to $910 million Ghana cedis. Now, out of the $910 million, for the first half, they can only spend 453 million. And these are all letters that the people have produced. From as at 29th May 2006, no, Sika no Mosaka 244.3 million Ghana cedis. Which is not even up to the 453. No. Now, if you look at the difference between the accounts of spending, 243 and the 453 na now can you now boom puna wo share the say ye allocate ya more money 910 any to say the year can what the mama fan 453 no to 1.6 billion na make the this fight, I would describe it as an interesting revelation that is worth investigating. Any quite say ye giant say, oh, a battle, we candidate. Now, through Mr. Thomas Nyako Ampem, Deputy Minister, or Kita Post or Deputy Minister for Finance, and Waka say ye release 1.6 billion. Now, Ministry of Finance. And so I released the official communique. I read it before I came here. Say, Yang Sankai, they have given a breakdown. In fact, they did a break it down. Farmer Service Center, 172, 36 million. Yes. And your friend is saying fertilizer, 77 million. Feed Ghana, 45 million, 4.5 million. Buffer stock, 30 million. In fact, they said as it stands now, buffer stock has not been given any money. They gave in their presence. It's a good thing.
The same thing, Farmer Center and also Compono, and some breaking grounds, but almost starting.
Now, it is a good revelation. And me, it's asked to the public accountability. Ministry of Finance, Abekasi. Ministry of your friend is saying Agric Abekasi. We are say, okay, what can they am I fair trade and make say Charlie and you know but
they still insist.
Now, Omu insist. What's saying now Mama 2 cities. Now my big na say Mama 5 cities are. Now what me no bit me no abanche because remember in the 5 cities now o de ma me unti yen hwe 3 cities no kwan be na be fa so ache no. We are sir. We say wa mama sir. Unti ye pe no as citizens, as an ordinary citizen, yes, parliament. This is the time we have to interrogate.
And when he said even a Greek and so SIT parliament, they say as of 2025, amount of release for 11 months was about 31 point something percent.
Yes.
As of 2025, in the day and a first quarter, we take us 85%. These are the arguments. What about Parliament? So
it makes sense to me because with little experience in our government sector, we are just at the. Your friend is saying, I think you drew second quarter. Now, say what allocate even your original budget said 1.9.7 million.
Now the 1.6.97
million. Now we'll say just before that we're releasing 1.6 billion. I say story no. The second half no. Then I say story na me say. Enti eno na me say. Yen ka say. The more can no credit. But we and women I think say a Greek side and so no. Omo say Ghanaians are being expectant because 85% they are then that rapid the agricultural sector no it has a huge responsibility. Listen, the more the agricultural sector and your resources no and the food inflation abafom say the be me maame a wote wasadom na ase and no mom ti huni value adwumako for huni bafo no ekoto aduane a ne bo ebeye fu amo and be ma the ordinary Ghanaian ebe feel say economy ne eyeye na agricultural sector ne stefona ebe ma yankasa ye ho akere because food is a daily necessity.
Exactly.
And you know, say, temper with agriculture sector. I say, we are very careful. And me pet the ideas almost about. I say, and you say, now it calls for proper investigation. And I am using this medium to challenge the president that this is two of his ministries. He said,
very sensitive ministries.
He said, very sensitive finance and agriculture. He said, woe unto you if you bring scandal into his government. And this is the time he needs to prove it. As me, as an ordinary citizen, I feel that this cause he shouldn't be silenced. Okay, I can't now a headline Parliament has a role to play. The executive, I mean the president, who appointed the 2 ministers, has a role to play. And Kamiso, I said, me perceive the rhetoric, and I said, Komobi Ekokoso say a battle of NDC leadership.
Yeah, who wants to lead?
Who want to lead?
But and also the amount for say that is the reality. And to wait person will play in the game with it. Maybe if you feel that, then it means that you don't have the chance.
Me dear, me nhwe ato forcing or Adumako ni mi krom ni enso me nhwe me dear ne say
honorable hopo question for south
me nhwe me dear ne say
sankore this year
o man yi eyeye e na wo se yedwene ho. If the agriculture sector is giving about 30% to 40% of the employment, and it contributes at between 19 to 20% of our GDP, we have to be see me any call. You may need call there resources near the moment. So what's the media amount? No more so say me from my there any are buying yourself. When you shimu. Na yema or na yet near Yashimu, no man in Coca Encoche baby. Nayan Casse, Yayashimu. We have to get the report of that investigation. Na yen ayen kind near no crewum. But this one, friend say, deputy minister, no, one more informed as an Obeka.
Deputy minister, you are wearing the shoes of your.
I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, boss.
They are okay there. Yet to a Mayimu, and yes, yet to prepaid and Nasa. During Janapoba Parliament, I was there. Oh, I didn't know you had the committee.
The politics.
And I mean, politics is one of the institutions. But I can me bow. Oh, say MPP Bekono. Na a year cocoa board. It was under Greek. Oh, by any 2-3 honum.
Yeah, no.
And cocoa kitty. What's I get in him? And into no, I dare now cast a bino. You are appealing to him. No, why are the main architect? There's a beer Kopoku for force be the president or Mompintino, Yamoro on Pamno. And also we cannot neglect it.
I remember say last year in Parliament, minority leader Ayeka as the same funds release kai specifically on a Greek say. Sika is say a Greek Ministry of Agriculture or Munyan or you release more on budget no. It
is worth investigating. Say ye kono yes ye hwem ye na ye ntimemfo e wo say mo hwem ya ye so mo ma ye hunu ye and this is where the media also comes here. Ma ye nkoye ne say, and I beg you, the producers and all other platforms, ma me nkoye say ye resist our headline we are ye career ye follow. Let's find tasks. Let's investigate.
Hunto ni ye penokwa na interview
ye kom ye wi a 2 weeks later ye nko bisa 3 weeks later, Yanko Bisa, a month later, Yanko Bisa say, Sadly win, yes, and yes, follow up. Nay, Yakomia say, yeah, baby, we move very and media no is interested in trending and pressing issues, which is good. As a student of media, I understand agenda setting and then discussing issues that are crucial at a particular point, but one of our rules is also to investigate in order to bring. We are supposed to serve as the watchdogs of the society. Intino ye mesre yen kom yen bisa questions. What happened to it? And yes sir, ebeko akoye scenario na me making. Okay, what can I say? Me so me can say what the ye fanjo ye share three no scanner e say na what can ye
shape capture.
Now because scanner a woman is too much. We are talking about 244.3 million as against 1.6 billion. Even says that no so crano 200 else and many baby
okay they say can 910 na crop
because this cannot be just a mere oversight.
So and this speculation but no, because we see abonte so much idea and now the movie
the president can say on press scandal this is an issue. Your communication if it be issue crisis, then it corner crisis.
Okay,
this is an issue that is worth investigating.
Crisis
crisis.
The second issue I discuss here dollars the abosabana. The doc is missing the point. This policy is for the protection or attack on the way go chill and or fire. This policy is for the protection of kids. You don't roll out such policies without first starting from somewhere. When you are opening a Snapchat account, your age is asked, but with pornographic site all you need is data. And that is dangerously dangerous.
Okay.
The minister means well. Let's not politicize it, because this is eating into the moral fiber of our country.
I think
let's say with the sites and it's now no.
I think we are saying the same thing, but he's mixing something.
Okay.
I never said the minister but I think say we should look at it holistically.
Yes, and that's how
I'm missing the point. See, akolana will say for children, or children ye define anything. In our constitutions that your children are below the age of 18. If we are talking about children below the age of 18, I cited examples say, "Many are mature two, our holy child, beauty, only 18 years or Snapchat." Intino, oka se wa restricted no ontimi nko website na me catch will say and na obetimi are consumers our content no. In fact, on Snapchat no, they are not just even consumers, they are even producers of those content no. Intino ye she ha no yema ye ni so nko ani ehunu kwan ya be fa so ye be hwe hanso.
Even though to add up no, imagine with students here, you know, what bought nyenya because a threat be abadi amano. Because a guy in the internet, the guy might be above 18.
Yes.
Obet me be Snapchat. E be my girl ne do no idea be e dia man on
Facebook and Insta.
Omo 18.
They are not.
So yeah.
They are not. And then Nancy me ohana me hunu say me maame asend me Snapchat. Asend me my friend is saying a friend request on Facebook. Me maame ni school koi. Ndru media nti mi bisa me ho say eh den na me ma me copy obekọ na ma me TikTok obekọ nti e den na obi eye now no there are ways to bypass these technologies nti me ni ya adwen say minister na the all can but me can say the problem na eso and no it goes down to the very to say our moral fiber and na me can say all the institutions cultural institutions are e boama ye keep your morals your culture ni bibia ye strengthen no say the be ya intervention e be holistic and comprehensive na ye
only challenge ni say enke ba minister dey abeto ase ye na ejai
okay
e ba sa na intellectual
na waka
but abraham is an asma na
yeah sorry
and someone da ho ni ne ma o ye na this need to me ma also man to me ama ni ntwantro
men kan ne sa na mo so no bibiti mo to mo na bibiti mo kwan nipa na nka sese wo ba no me producer ama menya ne ntie say Dr. Ayeka unfortunately we medical doctor Sabi o ma call it o mo for meeting into putupru inhye mudia bentina amanete it's no more hye say omubenya you know but I think time no you know too short maybe too short of a notice name paying for ma wo mo etintin o mo ntimi amante yentimi conclude because yes sorry so anesa we the mama 1 minute now doc Mama 1 minute we are no fire the so okay doc we are sorry so 1 minute near
and on the 14th of April 1960 the Daily Mail released a story. Let me be specific and read it with the story. I mean, read the story. Me read the headline.
Okay.
Na yingina ayede.
What's the 14th saying?
14th April 1960. Almost say when the rains came to Accra. When the rains.
What's the daily day?
Maybe me pacho. Let me make sure that I'm giving you the graphic newspaper from Monday.
Okay.
Daily Graphic Monday 14th April 1960. Okay. I said when the rains came to Accra 1960. As far back as 1960 the media reported flooding in Accra. Down the line to 2026 we are still reporting flooding issues in Ghana. What have we done wrong? What are we not doing right? These are things our leaders must think about. Government will go, government will come. But if you are a leader and you are entrusted, say the bibi show us problem show us solve. Na say o solve na wentimi anso we na uja nchimba na e kamia ye say jumani e de share won sa no nye ni nti mesre yem hwe bibia nto nche mfa ma no sem ni bibia nto nche ne ye hwe as a nation a kwan ben so a yebema saa problem a ye fa through yi flooding issues no yebeye na etuacha
okay
yebesere
kakra me de beka on say doc hensem ni bo mo ka say emfa manjesem 20 year the essence of politics is for the public good enti wo a wo te so no you know hu ye adwuma wo a wo opposition no enya nyom tuo wo no ye mirror amanyesem the incumbency any the opposition no ya paso sa paso ni saba kun say ya entimi nya dwuma o na mo de sentem say ya naye ento no wo ye dwuma no panimfo se de wo twa sanim se be kirachia aya se bo reju de tujemu ankusan
intimo opposition wo se mo dandan
yeah that be o dan no ma constructive yi that is MPP wo mo do mo ba o mo kasatra eno ne problem mo manya no eno intimi kana me dey so ni say ye nua no ma to ire ntima to mo no emu oya omampani ene na admo hwe de ombeye na ye nya bi ntoye no saya na mobile ye nso ye tuo na manyofuo ni nyina MPP ni ADC so hunu se obi antena tumi no so enche na bo buba na nya experience na kwa bua wunia enkoda ne dwom ama ne NDC ene no do amuka ye bia no osura yi wo mo na sase yi wo mo no medima no besia